Welcome everyone to this amazing channel named Geeks for Geek School. First of all, thank you very much all of you for joining me at this time. And today also we are going to learn a very amazing thing on Tinkercad as usual. Right, so today we'll be learning we'll learn how to develop parallel circuit on Tinkercad, and also we'll be talking about the types of circuits. There are two types of circuits basically: series circuits and parallel circuits. So I will guide you about how you can develop both the kinds of circuits on Tinkercad. But before that, I would like to introduce you to this amazing course which we have come up with. So that's the course, that's the web page on which you can find the details of this course, which is based on data structures and algorithms. So in this course, you will be provided with live classes, and we have designed these live classes in such a way that each and every student who doesn't have the knowledge of data structures, and he want to know about data structures and algorithms, he'll get a very good idea of what all things can we do with the help of data structures and why structured data is required. Right, so these live classes have been designed to introduce the class 9th and 12th school students to the world of data structures and algorithms. Now if you want to find out the details of this course, you can come down over here, and here you'll find each and everything whatever will be taught to you in the coding classes, in the classes which we'll provide you in this course. So we'll be telling you about the insight or into data structures and algorithms. We'll start with the basic concepts, and gradually when you'll become confident and when you will be aware about all the basic things, we'll gradually move towards the advanced concepts of of this data algorithms and data structures and algorithms. So there will be live problem solving sessions that we'll provide you in this course. Then if you want to check out the syllabus that will be covered in this course, so you can come down over here where we have this button. You can click on this button and it will open for you another tab to which we have linked a PDF file. Now in this PDF file you will find all the topics that will be covered in the classes we will provide you in this course. So first step to DSA, and as you can see, week wise we have divided the course into week wise, we have bifurcated the course. So in the first week we'll be taking 4 lectures, and what all topics will be covered in each of these 4 lectures you can find it over here in this PDF. Then again in the second week there are going to be 4 classes, and what all things will be covered in week 2 you can find it over here on this page number 3. Then again in week 3 there will be 4 classes. Then again in week 4 we'll provide you with 4 different classes. Now in this week we'll be covering some advanced concepts. Right, so the first 2 weeks are basic. In the first 2 weeks we'll be covering the basic things related to data structures and algorithm, and once you'll become confident we'll explain you the advanced concepts, concepts related to linked list, what are linked list, what is stack, what is queue, why data structure is required, and how can you use stack and queue for solving real time problems, real life problems. Right, so that's what you will be guided in this week 3, and in week 4 again some advanced topics will be covered. Right, then Pawan Dixit will be your mentor. He is an ACM ICPC 2019 Asia regionalist, and he is a gem in this industry. So he's going to mentor you, and definitely you are going to take away many things from this course. Right, so if you want to avail this course, if you want to book your seats, so you can just log in and register yourself for this course. And once you are done with that, you from the very next day we'll start giving you the online coding classes or the classes for this course. If you have any queries related to this course, you can put them in the chat box in the comment section. Definitely our team is viewing the comment section, right? We are publishing one, two, there are many videos on our channel, and we are going live daily on our channel. There are mentors who are going live on daily basis on this Geeks for Geek School channel. So if you come across any issue, if you want to share with us anything, any idea, or you have gone through some course which is there on our website and you liked it very much, but you have some queries related to that course, you can put the same in the comment section. Definitely we'll help you guys out in sorting that query. Now if you don't want to go like that, you can get in touch with one of our executives. So that's our toll free number. You can just dial it and get in touch with our executive department. They will help you guys out in resolving your queries. They'll give the answer to each and every query of yours. And if you want to if you want to get in touch with us through an email, so that's the email address through which you can get in touch with us, right? Okay, so I think you are finding if you're finding this course interesting, please do avail this course. Let's now dive into this Tinkercad platform. So today we guys will learn how we can develop parallel and series circuits on Tinkercad, and it is going to be very interesting for each and every one of you, because today the components that we will use for creating parallel and series circuits are going to be very new. We haven't read about those components yet. So today we'll talk about those components. Just give me a short moment. And the students who are new on this platform, let me tell you, if you don't know how to create account on this platform, please check out the first tutorial. I shoot in the very first tutorial which I shooted for this platform. In that I explained each and everything related to the basic concepts, and also related to the account creation process. So if you guys don't know how to create your own account on this platform, so please check out the very first tutorial which I shooted for this platform, and in that you will also find the explanation for all these tools which are there on this interface. So I gave a brief introduction of this Tinkercad interface over there in the very first tutorial. So please do check it out if you haven't checked it out yet, because if the basics are clear to you, definitely it will help you in understanding the advanced concepts also, because we guys don't want you to leave the platform, or to just if you're finding it a little bit tough, we don't want you to just give up and leave this platform and then go on some other channel. We don't want that to happen. So that's why we keep on encouraging you to learn the basic concepts first before diving on these advanced things that we are learning right now. Right. So hope you'll understand the things. Fine. Now let's. I would like to first give you some examples of series circuits. So let's select this all from here, and the first component I would like to use for developing a simple series circuit is this 9-volt battery. So I'm putting it over here. As you guys know, we haven't made use of this battery in any of the previous lectures. In any of the lectures I shooted earlier, previously, whatever lectures I've shooted, I've never made use of this battery. So today we are going to learn about how can we use this battery for in a circuit. So it's a 9-volt battery, and I would like to connect an LED to this battery, and here I go. Okay, so that's the LED. Now how can I connect it? So as you can see, it also has two terminals, and this battery also has two terminals. So that's the positive terminal and that's the negative terminal. So if I'll connect this positive terminal using this red color wire to this anode, anode is positive. That's the reason it attracts the anions which are negative nature. So if I'll connect this positive to this anode and this negative, let me select the black color from here. Yeah, if I'll connect it like this, so let's start the simulation process. I can see the LED glowing, right? But uh, it will not work. It will burn out. Why? Because we haven't, we don't have any component with the help of which we can keep a check on the current flowing through the circuit, right? Just because of some high amount of current which is flowing, because it's a 9 volt battery, right? To which we have connected this LED. So that's how that's why it is telling us that if you'll do it, it is going to burn, right? And so we need to put something that can help us in preventing this LED from getting burned. What we can do, we can simply eliminate this from here, and let's put a resistor. Let's make use of a resistor, and I am putting it over here. So I've connected this terminal 2 of this resistor to this LED's uh, anode, right? And then we can select this red color and we can connect this terminal, the terminal 1 of this resistor to this positive terminal of 9 volt battery. Let's run the simulation process so we can see this LED, it's glowing right now and it's looking perfectly fine. Just give me a short moment. Yeah, everything is running fine. So that's how you can prevent it from getting burned. Okay, let's stop the simulation process. Now I would like to show you how you can use this. Just a second, I am not able to recall the name of that component, really sorry for that. It is also a type of battery, but I'm not able to recall the name. Maybe I forgot the name because I haven't used it from a very long time in any of the circuits. Yeah, that's the one, coin cell 3 volt battery. So let's bring it over here. We, as you guys know, we haven't used it in any of the circuits which we have designed in the previous lecture. So we'll be using it today. We'll learn how to use it today. So I'm putting it like this. So it also has two terminals. This is the negative terminal and that's the positive terminal. So what we have to do, the way we connected this 9 volt battery to this LED, in the same way we are going to connect this 3 volt coin battery to this LED that I am going to drag and drop over here on this environment. Perfect. So it's the cathode point pin and I need to connect it to the negative terminal or positive terminal. Now you have to give me the answer. Let me check the comment section. I would like you guys to give me the answer of this question. If you have, please do share this with me. DVS, hello dear. So the course which I was telling you about, it's based on data structures and algorithms. So if you don't know about it, let me give you a brief, let me brief you about this course, what all things you will learn. Let me explain you with the help of an example. I think that will be much better. Suppose you have an inventory, and in that inventory you have millions of records, right? Now if you have a specific element and you want to search for that element in that inventory, so it is going to take a lot of time for you. It is going to take a lot of time. Even for a machine, it is going to take a lot of time to search for that specific element into that inventory of millions of what we call it records, right? So if the data which is present in the inventory is structured, if there are things like queues, stacks, linked list, right, decision trees. So if you know about these concepts, you will be able to give a proper structure to your data. So that's what, and if your data is structured, it will be possible for you to find that specific element very easily into that millions of records you have in that inventory you have, right? So that's what you will be taught in this course, how you can design linked list, what are linked list, what are stacks, what are queues, how you can use them for structuring, for defining a proper structure of your data, right? And it is going to be a very interactive session. You are going to take away many things from this course, right? And of course, the mentor that we'll be providing you for this course is highly he's a professional guy, right? And he has achieved lots of things in his life. So it is going to be a very good experience for you guys, and definitely you'll have an exposure of things, to the things he'll expose you to, those things which you don't know about. Data structures and algorithms is currently the demand in the market. It's in a high demand, and definitely if you know about this data structures and algorithm, it is going to benefit you a lot in your career also, right? If you want to know more about this course, you can get in touch with one of our executives. So here's the toll-free number. You can dial and get in touch with our executive department. Whatever query you have, you can ask them the query, and then if you find this thing, if you find the answers appealing, if you are well satisfied, so then you can go ahead and book your seat for this course, right? Okay, so I think Prabodh has given the answer. Okay, Prabodh is saying that we need to connect this cathode to the positive terminal, and what Priyansh is saying, cathode needs to be connected to the negative terminal. Thank you very much, first of all, for giving the answers. Now here what we did, we connected this negative terminal of 9-volt battery to this cathode pin of this LED, right? So in the same way, we are going to connect this battery to this LED. The way we connected this 9-volt battery to this LED, in the same way we are going to connect this coin battery to this LED. So we are going to take this black wire and we'll connect this negative terminal to this cathode pin, and then we can take this red for positive, and we are going to connect this anode pin to this positive terminal. Remember these connections. So now if I'll run this simulation, okay, so I'm able to see this LED glowing, but it is saying that current through LED is 61.9 milliampere, while reconnected maximum is 20.0 milliampere. The usable lifetime of LED may be reduced. So it may be possible that the lifetime of LED will get reduced if you will directly connect this LED to this battery the way I have connected. So in order to get rid of this, and in order to increase the lifetime of this LED so that we can use it for a longer period of time, we'll do the same thing. We'll put a resistor. Let's bring a resistor over here. So resistor, we can drag and we can drop it over here, and then we are going to use the same red wire. And now when you'll run this simulation process, so that's what you will get as an output. Isn't it amazing? It is. Yeah. Okay, so I think now you guys know how you can use this 9-volt battery and this 3-volt battery. Okay, let's now come over here, and we are going to now design two different circuits. The first one that we are going to design is a series circuit. Now how to design a series circuit? So for that we are going to have again I need to bring a 9-volt battery over here on this playground. Okay, that's the one. Let me just rotate it and I'm putting it over here. So I would like to design a series circuit first. For this series circuit, let's use three different LEDs. So how to get three different LEDs? We can simply write LED in the search box over here, and that's the first LED. I'm putting it over here. And now we can create duplicate of this LED. So Control C, Control V, and please don't forget to like and share this video so as to make it reach to the maximum students possible, and so that they can also come and join these amazing classes we are providing free of cost. And thank you very much in advance to all the students who are regularly doing this thing, right? Okay, so we have now three different LEDs over here. Let me change the colors of these LEDs so as to make it look more good. So I would like to change it to green, and this I am changing it to, how about blue? Yeah, blue is looking fine. Let's now select a black wire, and I would like to connect this that's the anode point, right? So I'm connecting it to the cathode point, and the anode point of this second LED, I'm connecting it to the cathode point like this. Now we have two pins which are still not connected with anything. So here also we have two pins. The one which is there on the left side is the positive pin, and the one which is there on the right side is the negative pin. So let's select this red wire, and I would like to connect this positive pin to this cathode. I think that will do. What do you think? Will it work? Will this circuit work like this or not? Yeah. Now before starting the simulation, I would like to see the comment section. Yes, will this circuit work if I have connected this cathode pin to this positive terminal, and I've connected this anode pin of this third LED with this negative terminal. So I've connected these three LEDs in series, right? That's how you can make a series circuit. So Prayansh is saying it will not work. Okay. Prabodh, what about you, dear? Prabodh and DVS, would you like to try out this question? What is going to happen to this circuit? Will it work, or is it going to give us the desired output, or it will not? Yep. Okay, so Prabodh is saying it will work. Thank you very much for your response here. Let's start the simulation process and see what's going to happen. It's not working, Prabodh. Really sorry. And Priyansh, you're right. It will not work. And why it is not working? It's not working because we connected this cathode pin, which is always negative in nature, to this positive pin of the what we call it 9-volt battery. It needs to be connected to the negative pin, right? Remember this thing. The cathode pin needs to be connected to this negative pin, and this anode pin needs to be connected to this positive terminal of this 9-volt battery. Let's do that quickly. So I'm already here. We already have this black color selected. So I would like to now connect this cathode pin to this negative terminal, and let's change the color of the wire to red. It's for my convenience, okay? You can use whatever color you want to from this list. I generally use black for making the connections in between the ground pin and the negative pin, and for making the connections for the positive pin I use red wire. Now if I'll run this simulation, so as you can see, the this circuit is working, right? It is working, but as you can see, the LED will get burned. These symbols over here are telling us that if we'll apply this thing on a physical circuit, so all the LEDs will go burn. Why? Because we don't have anything with which we can keep a control on the current flowing through the circuit. So what we can do, the way we connected a resistance over here to the circuit, in the same way we can bring a resistor in this scenario. That's the one. I can bring it like this, and let's eliminate this wire from here, and I'm putting it like this, and we can simply connect it with this, right? Okay, now if I'll start the simulation process, so I'm able to see the LEDs glowing, right? So that's how you can create a series circuit. Fine, I hope it is very much clear to every one of you. If it is not, if you have any queries related to this, you can put it in the comment section. Definitely I would like to answer, or I would be answering all your queries. Okay, so we are done with creating a beautiful series circuit. Now it's time to create a parallel circuit. So for that, um, let's again get a 9-volt battery, so we can get it like this. I'm putting it over here, and let me just rotate it, and yeah, perfectly fine. So we need to have now an LED, so we can simply write LED over here, and we can drag it and drop it like this over here. So now how to create a parallel circuit? So for that we need one more LED, and I'm putting it over here. So what happens in parallel circuit, there are points where this current gets bifurcated. Now here what was happening, here in the series circuit what was happening, the current will flow, the current will start flowing from this point. It will go like this, and it will go like this, and then this. So we have a single path, current will flow through this path. There is no bifurcation, there is no point where the current is getting divided. Here the current will get divided into two or more parts. Now I'll tell you how to do that. So we need to first get a red wire, and because it's this, that's the anode pin, I need to connect it with this positive pin, right? And let's bring a resistor for this. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me first connect this anode pin to this terminal 2, and I'm connecting this pin to this positive terminal. Okay, now that's the cathode pin, so we are left with, so we need to connect it to this negative pin. So it's a series circuit right now. The current is going to come from here, it will go like this, then it will go in this resistance, the LED will glow, and then it will come down. So that's how the current will flow. Now if you want to divide the current, so how can we do, if you want to divide the current, how can we do that? So we can simply take any of these wires. So I'm taking this green wire, and let's connect this pin with this pin of this second LED, and this pin, just a second, yeah, this pin with this pin of this first LED. So now what will happen, when the current will reach at this point, it will get divided into two parts. So some part of the current will flow through this LED, and some part will go in this part, right? Some part of the current will go in this LED, and the remaining will go in this part. So that's how you can bifurcate, or you can say you can divide the current into two different parts by defining two different paths, or two or more different paths at the same point. Now if you'll start the simulation process, you'll see both the LEDs glowing, right? Because current is flowing through both the LEDs. If you want to divide it further, how can you do that? So you can put one more LED over here, and you can simply link this cathode pin to this cathode pin, and this anode pin, we can link it to this anode pin. Let's check whether we'll get the required output or not. So I want to see all these three LEDs glowing. Okay, so all the three LEDs are glowing. So it's the parallel circuit we have designed over here, and that's the series circuit. I hope you all have understood the difference between parallel and series circuits. If you have any queries related to anything, whatever have been explained till now to you guys, please let me know in the comment section. Please put your queries in the comment section so that I can see them and I can answer your queries. Okay, I'm not able to see anything. I hope everything is clear to every one of you. Fine, so this is it from my side in this lecture. Just try to design these things on your own, right? And if you are successful in designing, if you become successful in designing these things, please do share your code with us in the comment section, or you can share the snapshot of your circuits in the comment section, so that the other students can get motivated from the work you guys are doing. Right, I know you all are practicing hard to learn these things, and it's really good if you're learning these things at this age, because these things are going to benefit you a lot, right? It's something related to robotics. Fine, so if you're learning these things now, definitely you will be able to make something new, you will be able to create something new in your for your future. Besides that, these things are also helpful. These are helping right now in improving your thinking skills, your problem solving skills. You don't know about it, but it is true. I am a teacher, and that's the reason I am teaching you guys these things, so that I can improve your thinking skills, I can improve your power of imagination, right? And once you're done with learning these things, try to visualize some new types of circuits, and try to design and code them yourself. And in case you come across any issue, we are there to help you guys out. We are there always to guide you. Fine. And before ending this lecture, again, I would like to tell you about this amazing course. So it's the course based on data structures and algorithms, and it is something which is currently in a very high demand in the market. If you want to learn data structures and algorithm, you guys can go ahead and avail this course. That's the link for this course. You can find it in the description section also. So that's the link for this web page we have designed, on which you can find all the information related to this course. So definitely each and every session that we'll give it will you will be getting in this course is going to you are going to take away many things from each and every lecture that will be provided to you in this course, right? And it is going to benefit you a lot in your career, as I've already told you many times in the beginning also, and in the previous classes also. Whatever courses we are providing to you right now, whatever courses Geeks for Geeks is providing, definitely it is going to benefit you a lot in your career, in your life. And it will also they all are very helpful. They'll all are very helpful in improving your problem solving skills and thinking skills and your visualization power, right? So make sure that you take this course. If you're not finding it very appealing, you can check out other courses which we guys are offering. Once you will get in, once you link yourself with us, definitely you will not regret. You will learn many things, right? So we'll see you in the classes. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial. Hope to see you in the next tutorial also. Have a great day. Bye bye everyone. Take care and see you.